where's all these National Guard that they said that they were going to come? Where's the safety? Where's the protection?
From economic downturns to social challenges, many U.S. states are facing critical crises. But why are some struggling more than others? In this video, we will look at 10 of the fastest collapsing states in the U.S., starting with the dire situation in number 10, Mississippi. What factors pushed it to the brink?
My main reason for leaving Mississippi is not only for myself, but also for my daughter.
I want to get a PhD from a flagship university in my field.
I know a lot of other states have a lot of other job opportunities that I would like to explore, and some of them I can't find in Mississippi.
I think that leaving will make me a better person. And if you stay in somewhere forever, you get very closed-minded, and you haven't seen all the different sides of the world.
With a population of 2,940,057 in 2022 compared to 2,949,586 in 2021, the state of Mississippi's total population decreased by 0.3% over the space of a year. Is there a reason for this? In addition to the lack of access to quality health care and standard education, Mississippi has experienced economic lag, which has resulted in low wages and slow economic growth when compared to the national averages, leading to a massive relocation of residents to other viable states. Not only that, natural disasters have also had a significant impact on the state's infrastructure, making it vulnerable to hurricanes and flooding, thereby causing it to have unstable growth. Although some of the reasons for Mississippi's decline were significant, number 9, West Virginia fell even harder.
That idea actually of all the young people are leaving, or all the young people who have the means to leave are leaving.
Yeah.
So like the pyramid must be one of those inverted things where you got like all these older people and middle-aged people, and then the base is just like this smaller and smaller little thing.
And a lot of older people, the only people moving to the state are retired.
Are retirees.
Because like they're very low taxes and housing's super cheap. So you can get land and that way. But it's a problem because our young people aren't replacing. So like it's a big conversation that like in 10 years we're gonna lose this big chunk of the population.
Between 2021 and 2022, West Virginia's population fell by a significant 0.6% as a result of mass relocation of residents. At the same time, the state's population declined at the 7th highest rate among all U.S. states. Uncontrollable economic issues were the cause of Virginia's collapse. Economic stagnation is brought on by reliance on dwindling sectors like coal mining. Because of this, West Virginia has had one of the highest rates of population loss in the nation, which is further compounded by uncontrollable migration. Like West Virginia, number 8, New Mexico also has financial challenges.
According to Customs and Border Protection, this disruption started at about 1:30 on Sunday, and this happened at the Paso del Norte Bridge in El Paso, Texas. Now, this connects El Paso to Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, and CBP says that they deployed physical barriers to stop this attempted mass entry into the United States.
According to reports, the population of New Mexico decreased by minus 0.2% between 2021 and 2022. Economic hardships, which have led to increased poverty and little or no employment options outside of the public sector and the oil industry, are part of the major cause of this enormous collapse in the state of New Mexico. Additionally, the state's population is also declining as a result of younger people relocating in search of better opportunities elsewhere, and to make it worse, social services are under pressure, which has resulted in subpar healthcare and weak educational systems. Unlike New Mexico, which is experiencing a mass exodus of young people in search of greener pastures, number 7, Alaska is battling with the climate. The population of Alaska decreased from 734,182 in 2021 to 733,583 in 2022, with a 0.1% total population decline from 2021 to 2022. Unfavorable climatic change that affected both the community and wildlife is causing Alaska to fail. Additionally, a large number of people left the state due to awful living conditions and economic difficulties brought on by a high reliance on oil money, which has been volatile in the market. Aside from climate change, the standard of living is pretty bad. Unlike number 6, Illinois, stuck in a financial downtime.
More people moved away from the state of Illinois last year than any other state in America, with the exception of New Jersey. But why are people leaving? You might think you know why people are leaving, but the people that actually left last year were surveyed, and the reasons they gave for why they left might shock you.
Another U.S. state with the fastest rate of decline is Illinois. In 2021, the state's population was 12,686,469 and fell to 12,582,032 in 2022, resulting in a 0.8% population drop. Also, Illinois lost about $10 billion in revenue between the same 2021 and 2022 as a result of more than 87,000 residents leaving the state, according to figures released by the Internal Revenue Service. This represents a loss of income and population across 6 years, totaling $47.5 billion. According to U.S. Census Bureau data, Illinois population continued to fall over the previous year, placing the state fourth in terms of population decline rate. Illinois seems to still be falling, while number 5, Connecticut, is suffering because of bad government decisions.
I recently purchased a home from an older couple who decided to leave the state and move down south because it was too expensive to live here. Their daughter, who's also, she's in her late 20s, she also moved down south before them. What do you tell people who are leaving Connecticut because it's too expensive to live here? And how do you fix it?
The incapacity of state officials to effectively manage their budget is one of Connecticut's most significant problems. According to research published by the Office of Fiscal Analysis, Connecticut is expected to have more than a $1 billion deficit from the fiscal year 2022 to the fiscal year 2024. This implies that for the next 2 to 4 years, the state will spend $1 billion more than it takes in. Mathematically, this gives the state 2 choices: reduce expenditure or find an additional way to make more money. The Connecticut administration, like the majority of legislators, would prefer the second choice, and this has led to migration of residents to states with promising opportunities. Not only bad decisions, but a recurring deficit is another dead weight on the neck of Connecticut, while number 4, Louisiana, is losing terribly.
According to one estimate, and it's not the only estimate, but I think this is a very telling estimate, Louisianians pay an additional $4,613 a migrant. That's about $604 million a year in state taxes because of illegal immigration.
One of the main causes of Louisiana's collapse is the state's vulnerability to natural disasters like hurricanes, which have had an impact on the state's economy and infrastructure. In addition, the state's high crime rate, poor healthcare and education systems as a result of massive entrance of migrants, and dependence on the oil and gas sector have also accelerated decline. As a result, Louisiana's population has changed by 0.8% between 2021 and 2022. This suggests a significant population decrease over the past 12 months. The standard of almost everything seems bad in Louisiana, but the situation in number 3, Hawaii, is hardly bearable. Hawaii is known for its tourist industry, which is why the state depends on it for a major percentage of its income. However, due to a combination of factors like high living expenses, which has driven a large number of its residents to other states, natural disasters like tsunamis and volcanic eruptions, housing affordability issues, and ongoing fluctuations in the number of tourists, the state's population decreased by 0.5%. If Hawaii is the home of expensive everything, then number 2, Kansas, is the home of bad tax.
2 undocumented Venezuelan men are accused of placing a skimmer on bank ATM machines in both Missouri and Kansas. They allegedly stole thousands of dollars from unsuspecting victims.
Because of the need to keep on accommodating migrants, outmigration of the younger and more active working class people in pursuit of better employment opportunities, challenges in education, and inadequate amenities, Kansas has experienced major budget deficits which have had a detrimental effect on the state. Additionally, lawmakers lowered the state income tax top rate by nearly 30% and the tax rate on some company earnings to 0 in 2012 and 2013 at the behest of Governor Sam Brownback. As Brownback subsequently anticipated, these significant tax cuts should have functioned as a shot of adrenaline into the heart of the Kansas economy, promoting robust growth in economic production, job creation, and the establishment of new businesses in accordance with supply side. However, following the tax cuts, Kansas actually scored worse on all of those metrics than the majority of its neighboring states in the U.S. as a whole. Obviously, Kansas failed because of poor planning, but number 1, New York, has lost more residents than any state in the U.S.
The New York City you know and love is dying. Your favorite pizza shops are closing. Crime is everywhere. Everybody is leaving.
Of the 10 U.S. states with the quickest rate of decline, New York is at the top. The population of the state experienced a notable decrease of 180,341 between 2021 and 2022, falling by 0.9%. Notable falls in the standard of living in the state of New York have been responsible for 3/4 of the state's population loss in 2023. According to a March 14th article in the New York Times, between 2020 and 2023, New York City lost 550,000 residents, or about 6% of its total population. In 2023, the populations of 4 out of the 5 boroughs decreased significantly. Brooklyn and Queens lost more than 28,000 and more than 26,000 citizens, respectively, while the Bronx borough saw more than 25,000 residents move. The only borough to see an increase in population was Manhattan. Additionally, people moved out of the NYC commuter neighborhoods. Conclusion. The choice to leave a state that is on the verge of collapse is a very personal one that is impacted by many variables, such as lifestyle choices, family obligations, and employment prospects. Nonetheless, there are strong arguments for why people and families would decide to move. If you relocated, what was your reason?